Hello, everybody. It's a little after 7. I think we should get started. My name is Mary Pearson. I am the chair of the 2026 Board of Directors election. Thank you for coming. Let me introduce, these are our committee members. Jewel, would you turn around and wave to the people? Jewel Crawford. In fact, people, you don't have to wave, because why? Because you got your pom-poms. Okay. Now we have Lauren, the lovely Lauren Lassiter. Turn around and wave to the people.
Hi, everybody.
And now we have Georgetta White. Wave to the people. Tonight, we're going to have dual timekeepers. Lauren's going to start. If she needs to leave for some reason, Jewel will take over. Okay. Let me tell you the rules of the room. All of the candidates have been invited to participate. But we have 2 absentees this evening. Rod Saunders is not in attendance tonight due to recovery from a recent medical emergency. Our other absentee, Yanira Jaime, cannot attend tonight's forum due to a death in the family. And now back to the room. And thank you, Aaron. And now the opening statements from the candidates, starting with Michelle. Michelle Marbury.
Michelle Marbury here, your board director, running again for us, the partners of Riverbay Corporation. I love this community deeply. It's not just where I live, it's where we grow. It's where we show up for one another, where we build together intentionally. But I've noticed a pattern that concerns me. Every time there's a campaign season, it often turns into them against us. That division can make us lose sight of what truly matters. The truth is, regardless of our differences or disagreements, we all should strive towards the same goal, making our community better. Each of us carries ideas, passion, and a sense of what's right. Whether we agree on every approach is not the critical issue. What matters is that we recognize the value in one another. We can bring the best of what's inside of each of us and place it in the center. If we can do that, like a circle of shared purpose, we can transform our energy and our community. I've chaired and co-chaired key committees, bringing focus and accountability to the work that impacts our daily lives. I've served as second vice president and assistant treasurer of the Riverbay Corporation, overseeing governance and fiscal responsibility at the highest levels of our organization. By focusing on the positive, not the negative, we can create real synergy, uplift and empower our community for the better. That's the kind of unity that creates lasting change. Team Now is that change. Team Now. N-O-W, no opportunity wasted. Michelle Marbury, Monique Coleman, Andrea Leslie, proven experience and integrity. Keith Logan and Darnell Lopez, brilliant leaders you can trust as we elevate our community to the next level. Vote Team Now, the time is now.
Thank you, Michelle. Monique Coleman.
I don't know if I could top that. But my name is Monique Coleman, and I've called Co-op City home for 40 years. I've raised 2 children here who are now adults and living on their own. After 42 years of uninterrupted work and 27 with my current employer, I retired 3 weeks ago. In 2021, In 2021, I was asked to step up and serve when a board member resigned. In 2022, you entrusted me with a full board director term. And today, I'm asking for your vote again in 2026. Co-op City is special, not just because it offers affordable housing, but because we're independent, self-sustaining, and built on a shared commitment to community. I'm not here out of friendship or popularity. I'm here because I believe in preserving our hometown and protecting our quality of life. We're facing rising costs with insurance, utilities, and unfunded mandates. These are real pressures. With management, our board has responded with discipline and sound budgeting. While other Mitchell-Lama communities, like Rochdale Village and others, have faced dramatic carrying charge increases, Co-op City has remained financially stable, and that's not by accident. I bring nearly 30 years of insurance experience, and I founded and currently chair the insurance committee, where I've worked to protect our financial health by challenging the status quo and asking hard questions. In the past 1 year alone, I worked with our committee and risk management to save Co-op City $1.2 million in insurance costs. And just last month, we saved another $204,000 on our power plant insurance, property insurance policy.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you. Andrea Leslie.
Good evening, Co-op City. I'm Andrea Leslie. I'm asking for your vote in the upcoming Riverbay Board election because I want to continue our modernization of our infrastructure, improve our customer service, make space for our youth, and encourage greater community participation. I've been part of the board for a number of years, and throughout that process, we've gotten used to some things that you don't realize that we've done. We've changed all our, created 88 doors for all our lobby, the lobbies in all our buildings. We've improved and changed elevators in both the garages and our buildings, and we've also made some great improvements in a power plant that provides you every day with heat, hot water, air conditioning that you don't usually realize, it's almost something that you're used to and don't realize how it's come about. And we're also in the process of making some more improvements to the power plant. We have a program that every year creates millions of dollars for the community. I've also been a liaison from the board to the community, and for New York City, I help to provide resources for some of our shareholders here who are in crisis. I want to be part of a progressive team that brings transparency and accountability to the board, and the NOW team is what will bring that. Myself, Andrea Leslie, Michelle Coleman, Michelle Marbury, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting my own team members. Michelle Marbury, Monique Coleman, Darnell Lopez, and Keith Logan. Thank you. Vote for the NOW team.
Thank you, Andrea. Idalia Reyes.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Idalia Reyes. I'm proud to stand.
Idalia, please,
Oh,
closer.
I'm sorry. I'm proud to stand before you today as a candidate for the board. I am not just running for a position. I'm running to be a voice, an advocate, and a leader who delivers results for our community. As a proud resident of Co-op City for over 25 years, I have lived everyday experience like we all share. I understand the concerns about maintenance, safety, communication, and the overall quality of life in our community. These are not just issues to me, they're personal. I currently serve as a building president, as well as a vice president of the Spanish American. I also chair the cultural committee. Through these roles, I have worked closely with residents, listened to concerns, organized events, and taken action where it matters most. I believe leadership is not about titles. It's about being present, being accountable, and being willing to do the work. With over 35 years of experience in investment banking and a bachelor's degree in communication and media, I have the ability to advocate effectively, communicate clearly, communicate and fight for the needs of our community. I am also a member of the Democratic Club, the NAACP, continuing my commitment to community empowerment and advocacy. But what truly defines my candidacy is that my belief that real change happens when leadership listens. includes and unites people. I believe every shareholder deserves to feel heard, respected, and represented. Together, we can strengthen our community, improve transparency, and build a future we can all be proud of. I am ready to lead with integrity, action, and heart. I ask for your trust, your support, and your vote. Together, we can move our community forward. My name is Idalia Reyes, and also, please re-elect Lynette Wright and Rod Saunders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Idalia. Is everybody doing the pom-pom thing? Okay. I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I have to, you have to be on the honor system. Okay. And now Aaron Carnegie.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Aaron Carnegie. I was born and raised in Co-op City, and for more than 44 decades, this community has been my home and my classroom. This community has shaped who I am. It's not just where I live, it's where I serve. Today, I serve as building president of Building 27, second vice president of Cooperatives United, chair of the Criminal Justice Committee for the NAACP in Co-op City, and as aide to Councilman Kevin Riley. And through all that work, I have learned something important. In Co-op City, leadership cannot begin when the crisis arrives. By then, it's too late. For too long, our community has stuck in a cycle of reacting instead of preparing. We wait until residents are frustrated before improving communication. We wait until repairs pile up before demanding accountability. We wait until trust is broken before trying to rebuild it. That is not leadership. Leadership is seeing problems early and acting before residents suffer the consequences. We must be proactive, not reactive. When Building 4 lost gas and families could not cook in their own homes, I did not wait for someone else to act. I helped organize and deliver hundreds of meals so our neighbors were not left behind. That is the kind of leadership I believe in, not words, action. As a building president, I hear the concerns every day. Residents want responsiveness. They want transparency. They want leaders who are visible before election season and accountable after it. That is why I'm running for the Riverbay board. I am not coming in to learn this community. I have lived it, served it, and continue to fight for it. I understand the challenges we face, but more importantly, I understand that strong leadership is not about slogans. It's about results. It's about showing up consistently, listening carefully, and solving problems before becoming major problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. And now Lynette Wright.
Good evening, Co-op City. Thank you for attending, or for those that are watching, the second candidate forum. My name is Lynette Wright, and you elected me as a board director in 2022. In the 2022 Candidates Forum, I stated that we needed board directors who had proactive, innovative thinking and made decisions with consideration of every shareholder in mind. Rod Saunders and I promised you increased transparency between shareholders, the board, and management, a budget that reflected long-term self-sustaining investments to improve shareholder quality of life, and increasing public safety outreach to keep our community safe. We achieved monthly open board meetings to hear and address your concerns, allocated $2.5 million for a solar panel project, which will serve as alternative sources of revenue, closed budgetary inefficiencies to reduce the chance of carrying charge increases, and have worked with management to ensure that the $50 million grant that we received was reflective of your shareholder interest. However, as world champion boxer Mike Tyson once said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Over the past 4 years, we have been faced with repeated energy costs and abnormally high inflation, staffing shortages and administrative changes that have curved our public safety goals, and increasing unfunded mandates that compromised our budget. Bless you. But as Rod Saunders proudly says, the work is not yet done. We need to continue along being financially responsible and transparent foundation that we have started to improve our quality of life and keep Co-op City as a home for all of us. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me, Lynette Wright, and Rod Saunders, and to elect new promising candidate Idalia Reyes to the Riverbay Board of Directors. We are the change you can see and the leadership that you can trust. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero Graham.
Hi. Hello? Yep.
Okay.
All right. Hello there. each and every one of you. Good to see you. I guess I'm the new guy on the block. And everybody's looking and they're saying it. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Nero Graham, and I'm running for a seat on Co-op City, Riverbay Board of Directors. And I'm running because I believe strongly for what I've seen, that the over 15,000 shareholders in Co-op City. And when you go to a billing meeting, you can count them on both your hands or less. I am committing myself to change that. I know how to work with people. I am a people person. I've been through my career for over 28 years of being a people person, working with the bosses and non-bosses. But you know what? Nero Graham got the job done. So I am, and I will be committed to listen, stop, think, and act in the appropriate way for not those shareholders that I don't know. I will act in the right directions for each and every one of them and their families. Because I see their families walk in sometime and say, oh, nobody does nothing here. We're going to change that if I'm elected. Thank you very much for listening to my opening statement. We're going to get there.
Thank you, Nero. Now we have Darnell, Darnell Lopez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Darnell Lopez, a seasoned financial professional with more than 14 years of experience. Having been raised in Co-op City and now as a shareholder, I bring both a deep personal connection and a long-standing commitment to the community. As a founder of the Co-op City Basketball Classic, I have established a respected community tradition that provides the youth with opportunities to engage in athletics, develop teamwork, build lasting relationships. My commitment to youth development extends beyond sports with a vision to introduce initiatives that promote STEM education, financial literacy, and entrepreneurial skills alongside athletic programming. Professionally, I offer a strong financial background and strategic mindset that I will apply to board service. My focus will be on strengthening fiscal responsibility, ensuring transparency, supporting sustainable growth that benefits all shareholders. I also plan to foster partnerships with organizations that can deliver mentorship, educational resources, and career pathways for our younger residents. Vote Team Now, Michelle Marbury, Monique Coleman, Andrea Leslie, Keith Logan, and myself, Darnell Lopez. No opportunity wasted. Thank you.
Thank you, Darnell. And now Keith Logan.
Hi, I'm Keith Logan, and I'm running for the Riverbay Board of Directors. I've worked and lived in this beautiful community for almost 20 years. I'm a devoted husband to that beautiful woman right there, and a father of 3 amazing children. For over 10 years, I've worked in the CSO, Buildings and Grounds and Restoration departments. I currently own and operate one of the top-rated painting companies in my industry. My character and strong work ethic make me an ideal candidate to represent you. I represent blue-collar excellence. I believe this board needs a fresh perspective and new ideas. I bring those along with honesty and integrity. I want to be an example for the younger shareholders that could and should be a part of the affairs of this community. I am on the construction committee, and I am the newly elected chairman of the Coalition to Save Affordable Housing, a very important Co-op City organization. I believe you should put God first, then family, then community. That's why I'm running. Vote for Team Now. Andrea Leslie, Michelle Marbury, Monique Coleman, Darnell Lopez, and myself, Keith Logan. Vote for Team Now. The time is now. No opportunities wasted. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. And now that I was reminded there are opening statements. Thank you, Aaron. He's even texting me. Okay, back to tonight's theme. Tonight's theme is candidates get to know or know more about the other people running for this 2026 election. That's the theme. Live with it, Lynette. Okay, let's just start with, let's start with careers. A lot of you have many careers, maybe not so many. I want you to pick your favorite, your most interesting career, the most interesting job you ever did. And I want you in 90 seconds or less to take us through a day on that job. And we're going to start with Monique, and we're going to go this way and then back to Michelle. No more bouncing around because we have enough questions for everyone to get a question and a last answer. Monique Coleman.
So everybody knows that I'm an insurance professional, and I'm going to start there. I won't say it was the most interesting work, but it was important and meaningful. I was an account manager, and my role was to work with commercial employers. So when an employer would buy health insurance for their employees, I was their contact after they purchased the policy. I helped with communications. So, they might ask me to come to their organization and speak to a room like this full of employees about their plans. I didn't work with people one-on-one, but I would work with a large group of people, and I would work with the HR department. So a typical day could be problem solving, it could be presenting, it could be putting out fires. It was never done, ever. No day ever ended with an empty inbox. My days, the world was always on fire. So, because it's insurance, and everybody has needs. But that was my typical day. Thank you, and I have
Thank
40
you.
seconds.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
have 40 seconds, so can I read the
Oh,
rest
wait,
of my opening
I'm sorry,
statement?
we had a technical difficulty. You started it late?
Oh, dang.
What's going on?
Oh, dang.
Thank you, Monique.
And then, no.
Okay, would you like the question again? Have you had a million careers? If you've had many careers, pick your favorite and most interesting and tell us a day in the day of your job. 90 seconds or less.
My most interesting, I worked before for a tourist office, and in that role, my responsibility was to organize travel agents when we had travel agents. And at that time, organize travel agents from multiple travel agencies to go on familiarization trips to the countries, most of the Caribbean. And so I would have to coordinate how many people were going to go, make sure they have flights, make sure they have transportation to the airport when they get to the destination, then make sure they're checked into hotels and organize their trip so they would become familiar with the islands wherever we were going on a particular trip, and communicate with the customs people in that in whatever destination we went to, and arrange for making sure that they become familiar so they could sell the properties.
Thank you, Andrea. I'm sorry, I keep messing that up. Idalia Reyes.
Okay, I want to make sure we're ready.
Let's make sure we have the,
Hello.
okay.
Hi. When I started at 19, I was an intern in a investment company that I am now part of still. And I was not allowed to pick up phones because they didn't think that I could handle, being 19 years old, that I can handle taking stock orders for IPOs. Well, guess what? One day, everybody left the floor, and I was left with a ringing phone. So I picked it up. I took 2 orders, and they were the biggest orders. And when everybody came back, they were surprised that I did that. And guess what? I got a full-time job from my intern. Currently there, 35 years later, because I moved up, just because of that phone call. So basically, when people tell you you can't do something, if you're able, you got to show them what you can do. Because sometimes you have to trust yourself and have confidence in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Idalia. Aaron Carnegie.
Thank you. Ooh, so many careers I've had. I think I'm going to talk about my current job right now, and that's working for Councilman Kevin Riley. No 2 days are the same. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Thank you. No 2 days are the same. We see constituents sometimes at their lowest point in their lives, where they had a flood in their home, fires, and they lose everything. I know for a fact, when I first started last year, we had a big fire over on Allerton Avenue, and people had to live in shelters. And in some cases, you had men and women in the same shelter sharing the same bathroom. It's heart-wrenching. Then we have the good days when I'm able to do things for my community. But no 2 days are the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Lynette Wright.
So I would say my favorite career, ironically enough, is probably something that is known as the toughest job you'll ever love, which was when I was in the Peace Corps. I'm a Peace Corps volunteer from Guatemala, served from 21 to 2013. Thank you for the support. So what made it extremely challenging is that, I did not speak any Spanish before I got there. And my country, or my community, predominantly spoke also a language known as Quiche. Also made it difficult because I was a woman, and there are gender dynamics that are there. So there were some things that made it extremely challenging to get work done. The other part of it is it's not like the US, where I can go, we can do a project. They want to take it a lot slower, and a lot of it is listening to people and relationship building, hearing what the issues are that might have nothing to do with the reason that you're there, but you're able to assist people through the relationships that you build. From that point on, I was able to build a lot of relationships with a lot of different men and women, which worked out very well. We were able to serve about 125 health educators to teach them how to serve themselves, how to do family farms, and really how to address not only food instability, but also healthy eating, because they have a mass problem with malnutrition. So just setting some of those stones and being able to get to know people, but also be able to help them, was extremely rewarding for me.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero Graham.
Nero Graham. Well, I have so many also, but when I retired from the fire department in the emergency medical services section, after being there for like so many years, and I was able to retire, and I retired as a chief. And then one good day came along, I got that call to say there's an opening at Bronx, New York City, Bronx Board of Election. And there's a vacancy open for a commissioner seat. So to move it faster, I was able to go there, and I was able to stay since 2001 to 2007. And believe me, it was a pleasure working on both sides of the aisle, the Republican, Dems, and Independents. And also, I got to serve 2 years as the president of the Board of Commissioners of New York City during my tenure from 2001 to 2007. So I've been around, people person, still doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nero. Darnell Lopez.
Darnell Lopez here. What I can say, one of my most interesting roles was when I was an assistant on the trading desk for J.P. Morgan. I was on the desk for rates. Those are bonds, in case anyone doesn't know. What was great about it wasn't just the people that I got to work with, some of the brightest minds in the world, was I really got to understand the flow of money as far as how the financial institutions actually work. not only did I get a chance to understand that, I got to really speak to a lot of like affluent people, rich people, and understand how do they make money, keep money, and protect money and pass money on. It was a great experience for me because it taught me how to earn money, keep it, and then also understand how the bank made its money to keep itself in business. It was a great experience. It's a situation where you only see in the movies, and I was able to sit forefront. And since then, I've been able to teach it to everyone I know, especially in my family. So that, I could say, was one of my most interesting and favorable careers.
Thank you. Thank you, Darnell. And Keith Logan,
Keith Logan.
little louder.
Keith Logan. Team now. My most favorite career moment was when I was chosen by the Painters Union in Riverbay to be the foreman of plaster and paint over the world's largest residential complex here. I oversaw 250 occupied apartments a week and helped to restore over 40 vacant apartments a month. I nicknamed Co-op City Vietnam when it comes to the painting industry, because if you can paint here and deal with the volume here and you have quality, you can work anywhere. And it prepared me to start my own business. And with the grit that I learned here, it has served me well in life and business, and that would be one of my most favorite career moments. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Wonderful. Okay. Yes. Oh, thank you, Georgetta. Michelle.
Thank you for the question. I have to choose my career at WOR Radio as probably my favorite one, because it took me from situations like coloring a broadcast for the Gulf War with General Norman Schwarzkopf, to meeting Princess Grace in the hallway and her talking to me and taking the time to talk to little old me, who was producing Arlene Francis at the time. And, you know, just memorable conversations like that let me know that I can converse and I can sit with kings and queens, and also I can be just as normalized with my own people, and also teach the people coming up behind me that they too can sit with kings and queens and converse and be favored and be and, you know, just instrumental in their lives. Anyway, those were two of my favorite memories from WOR. Also, you know, just sitting in the office and not knowing, you know, Frank Sinatra walking into the office and I was in the office and just wasn't even expecting him to say anything to me, so I just kind of buried my head, and he walks in and he's like, "Hi, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hi, Frank Sinatra," you know. So things like that, you know, just let you know, it's like that's when I arrived.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. Well, that was illuminating. That was wonderful. Okay, we're going to stick with careers. Every career has jargon. We want you to teach us something. It could be about the career you discussed. It could be about something else. Does everyone understand the question? It's like it's something that you do every day that you say IPO, and that maybe people don't know exactly what IPO means. Or you say, you just went with EMS. Maybe it's something about that. Maybe it's about whatever. So we're going to start with Andrea. I want you to think about any of your jobs, and what was that jargon that you just think everybody knows? What is this aspect that you think everyone is familiar with? And explain it to us. Nice and simple, like a layman can understand. Andrea Leslie.
Well, I deal on a daily basis with evictions and stopping evictions mostly. We try to do more of that stopping than having an eviction occur. And one of the things that we do on a daily basis is make sure that either we're getting we call it OSD, which is called a one-shot deal, which is trying to get a grant for someone if they have arrears to pay for that grant, or we have, we usually dealing with lawyers who reach out to the courts to stop that process. And that process is called an order to show cause. So we use OSC when we're trying to communicate with each other. Those are the two terms basically that we use, OSC and one-shot deal, OSD.
Thank you, Andrea. Idalia Reyes.
Yes. Hi, okay. This is, in my career currently, a lot of people don't know what a KYC is, which means know your client. So when IPOs, which are initial public offerings, come out, we guide clients not to make mistakes according to knowing your client. So in my profession, and what I enjoy doing is guiding people not to make mistakes, not to act on impulse, and also just let them know and teach them, like you said, what the market is about. A lot of people think they know what the market's about because they read the paper or something like that, but usually we are the ones that guide them. And when we open their accounts, we'll tell them what their guidelines are as they age, you know, what they're able to afford, what they can do, and what income they can get. So really, it's all about guidance and teaching. So I just gave you the whole definition of KYCs and IPOs. Thank you.
Thank you, Idalia. Aaron, can you come up with some kind of technical term that you think everybody knows it, but...
Well, unfortunately, I just got Andrea stole mine. I was going to talk about one-shot deals. But I'll rather say this. In my current role as aide to Councilman Riley, you'll be surprised that we actually don't call each other by our names. And we don't even call the council member by his name. We usually use our initials. So whenever we talk to each other, we just use initials. Or if we're talking about the council member, we'll just say CM. And believe it or not, that is how almost every office in the city council communicates. When they're talking about their CM, or they either call them their member, they're talking about the council member. So everything's kind of shorthand. And so if you walk into the office and you say, we'll be talking about someone, we're just using initials or member or CM to be talking about another office or whatnot. So.
Thank you, Aaron. Lynette Wright.
Sure. So I currently work in HIV, and two of the things that we normally talk about are PrEP and PEP. PrEP stands for pre-exposure prophylaxis, and PEP is post-exposure prophylaxis. And basically, these are medications that you use if you do not have HIV, but you do not want to get HIV. So you take it continuously. The goal of it and what we tell people is it's completely about prevention, obviously, of getting HIV, and it's not about being scared of the landscape or being scared of people. It's just knowing what you have to do to be able to prevent yourself from particularly being in a situation. If you want to continue to stay HIV negative, then you can take these medications. So I know that people are like, oh, okay, that's great, but like, what does that have to really do with a lot? Some of these things are things that I use in the boardroom very similarly. So when we're talking about prevention, we're looking at the landscape of what's going on in the community, right? That just as Aaron had said before, we don't want to work retroactively, we want to work proactively. We want to be able to get out there, we want to be able to prevent things from happening before they happen. And it's not about being afraid of a challenge necessarily, it's just about being able to analyze it and to be able to understand it so that you can come to a solution and make a conscious decision about what we want to do as a board. As I said, those are skills that I bring to the boardroom, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero Graham.
Well, I'm going to, I was thinking which one should I use. You said EMS, maybe we'll use that one, the fire department. And I think everybody knows about emergency medical services, right? That's too simple. So let's go back to quickly, I'm going to talk about my position with the Board of Election. You know, when one thing, and my colleague over here is right, one thing about it, they never call you by your name. Even the staff, when you go into all 5 boroughs, they will say, how you do, commish? How you do, commish? How you do, commish? So, but that's still the respect that you, when they call you, your name that. And also being able to go through 5 boroughs to take these when the elections is on, and you able to see different nationalities, just how things go and tighten up. And get to understand the poll workers who goes to work early in the morning and who want to make sure that cab picks them up 4 o'clock in the morning. So that was one of my duties, to make sure with the person who is responsible that, to make sure those bodies are picked up at 4 o'clock in the morning and where they're supposed to be at by 5 a.m. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nero. Darnell Lopez.
Thank you. So, I want to teach everybody a little something when it comes to stocks, all right? So I hope everybody's ready. So, the jargon that we have is called RSI, which stands for Relative Strength Index. So I want everybody, I don't know if you got a piece of paper or you want to pull your phone out, take a little note. This will be an easy way for you to pick any stock that you like. So let's say there's a stock that you like and you're just not sure if you should buy it now. Well, with the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, it'll give you a number to let you know if it's overbought or oversold. So you're probably like, well, what does that mean? Okay, so in a nutshell, if something's overbought, that means that the price is high and is set to come down. So you may not want to buy it right now, because we always want to buy low and sell high. So any number above, and when you look this up, it gives you different information, but what I normally like to use is anything over 55 is overbought, soon to come down. Now, on the flip side, if it's oversold, that means you're going to get cheap, pennies on a dollar, especially if it's a good company. So you may want to put some money there because it could be on the uprise. So that's just a little something there. If you need more information, you can always find me. Thank you.
Well, thanks for that insider tip. Thank you, Darnell. Keith Logan.
Keith Logan. Thank you, Darnell. I'm going to need some tips later on.
Gotcha.
Very insightful, my colleague Darnell Lopez. Okay, I'm in the construction industry, so I'm going to give you a couple of simple painting terms. One is flashing. Flashing is when something is plastered and it's not primed and you're painting it higher than a flat finish. When you paint it with something with a higher finish in that spot, in that particular spot, the finish will look different because the plaster would absorb the paint differently than the rest of the wall, so it's recommended to paint it. So that's what's called flashing. Bleeding is another term, and that can refer to stains that you don't prime with the proper primer and the stains come through, or refers to coverage when you don't, you might need to give something another coat, is referred to as bleeding. Another one is polishing, and that refers to the last coat of compound that goes over when you plaster, just compound to make it smooth and easier to sand. But those are my jargon. Painter jargon, plaster jargon.
Thank you, Keith. Michelle Marbury, insider trading, come on.
Okay, thanks again for an interesting question. I'm going to take you guys back to my work with Nile Rodgers of the group Chic, and he would do every year a gala called the We Are Family Foundation Gala downtown on 9th Avenue. And the term I'll give to you is ROS, run of show. And run of show means just that. You know, from the time you get there at the venue to the time you leave, everything is timed out. From when when you welcome guests coming in. My first encounter with Nile, I had Patti LaBelle. And so I was with her from the time she came in to the time she left. I knew what she was going to eat, where she had to go. I marked, the path she took to get to stage and off stage, and all of this was on the run of show. So they knew where I was, I knew where they were. They're talking to me on a walkie-talkie, and that's that. The reason why I brought that up is because I brought that back to Co-op City. with running organizations like the Section 4 Partnership and the African American Association. I introduced Run of Show to them. So everybody knew what their responsibility was, and we could all be intact and run a bang-up operation and event.
Thank you, Michelle. Monique Coleman.
So let's talk about insurance. Because I'm part of Team Now, No Opportunity Wasted, I'm going to teach you a little bit about insurance, so we should all enjoy this opportunity. When people look at insurance, their eyes glaze over and they get confused, and it's very difficult to make decisions. But there are a couple of components that you should be looking at when you're trying to decide between plans. Every plan has a list of benefits. It has a premium cost. There is a policy year. There's usually a maximum out of pocket. And what you should be looking at when you're making comparisons is what your maximum out of pocket is added to your annual cost. And that's the most that you would pay in any given year. You also want to look at your network and figure out whether or not your doctors are part of the network. And you want to compare plans that your doctors are in. So Plan A and Plan B, look at the out-of-pocket max, the premium, and the doctors. And you compare Plan A to Plan B and see which one costs you the least. No opportunity wasted. Team Now.
Thank you, Monique. All right, well, that was Andrea's question, so we're going on to the third. Now, again, everybody was asked to read the articles that the other candidates had written, and I would like them to pick one thing from one of their opponent's statements that they totally agree with. Now you can't, okay, if you didn't do your homework, you're gonna have to just wing it. No, you can't comment on Lynette's. Lynette can't comment on yours, but anybody else's fair game that somebody mentioned something. I do want to have a little caveat, one exception. Everybody wants the youth center. Who here does not want the youth center? No one, right? So how would you go about it if you're going to choose youth center? How would you make it happen? Otherwise, pick any other thing you noticed in your opponent's articles that you would like to say you agree with 100% and why. Oh, and we're starting with Idalia.
Okay. Go ahead. You want to?
I was going to say pass, but I'm not going to say pass.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wing it.
Okay, go.
I'm gonna pick on Darnell Lopez. Darnell Lopez, because he's in the same field that I'm in. Darnell Lopez.
Thank you.
He's in the same field. We're in the same field. Obviously, I'm a little older than him, but we have the same ideas, and we could bring the same ideas to the board because of our background in financials. And it's really important because the board looks upon a budget. And those ideas that we bring, it kind of reflects our careers, what we're doing now, which is gains and losses and situations like that. So we help people and families to make right decisions. We can make this community make right decisions.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Idalia. Aaron?
Well, I'll pick the youth center. The reason why I picked the youth center, you said, how are we going to get it? Well, funny thing, I brought this up at the last forum. We currently have a youth center here in Co-op City. It's in Section 5. Some people call it the Section 5 Teen Center. Since I work for Councilman Kevin Riley, we call it MMCC, or it's actually a Boys and Girls Club. Now, many people over here may not send their kids over there because it's all the way in Section 5. So how do we get a youth center, let's say, hypothetically, at the Yellow Schoolhouse that's over here? Well, right now you have the youth center. Riverbay cannot staff a youth center. You have to have an outside entity run it. Riverbay is a landlord. You want to collect the rent from said organization, but Riverbay cannot actually staff it. So you want someone like MMCC to come in, and you want them to build up their program. So the one in Section 5 right now, you want them to build up those programs so much so that they have to move from that location and need to have a bigger location so they can handle more kids and have more programs that they offer, because they offer a lot over in Section 5. They offer construction skills, podcasting skills, cooking skills, a lot more than a lot of people think. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron Carnegie. Lynette Wright.
Sure. So I will be honest about this and say, don't remember hearing this, don't remember what's called. But what I will say is that it also, in a sense, kind of doesn't matter, because once you get to the board, I don't get to decide who I want to work with and what their initiatives are. That's up to you and whoever is on there. And you work with whoever you have, and where you have agreement, you come together. Now, even with the incumbents, there's a ton of things that I disagree with them on. But there are areas where we find commonality and find things that we work together. Those things we come together on, and we're able to push forward. As my teacher used to say, no woman is an island. I went to an all-girls school. So you have to work with the people that are there, regardless of what their opinions are, and you also have to deal with people regardless of if you think they have great ideas or if you think that they don't and you don't want to get involved. Either way, all 15 people at some point need to agree on something that is beneficial for this community, that is going to move the needle, and actually do the work and put forward the work to get anything that anybody says done. I can have all of these initiatives on this card all I want to, but I cannot get there by myself. I have to work with others and present an attitude that also is conducive to collaborativeness within that space.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero Graham.
I'm just like my partners that next to me is that I didn't get it, but I'm just going to speak on this that was mentioned earlier in the opening at the end. The board itself, and I've been on many boards, where it's always a board would say, the board, the board, the board. And by doing that, they become ownership. And those who the board serves is left out, or they feels like they doesn't have a decision. So going forward, I am a strong believer is that whatever happened in the election, we must learn to come together, work together, and let us not say I, me, let's use the term we. Thank you.
Thank you, Nero. Darnell Lopez.
Yes, so I'll be speaking on the youth center.
A little closer on.
I'll be speaking on the youth center. And what I would like to say is our kids need more space to grow. Every child deserves a space to belong, a place to run, compete, learn, and simply be. Right now, our community has a youth center, but for many families, it's simply out of reach, whether due to location, hours, capacity, or awareness. Too many of our children are falling through the cracks. It's time to change that. We're calling on our community to support the development of a second youth center, one built with every child in mind. Imagine a space where young athletes can develop real skills, build character, resilience, and lifelong relationships. We may have some people that are in position and know more about the youth center in Section 5, but can you ask yourself, for someone who has said that they grew up here, they still live here, and they work for certain people, why do we still not know about this? Maybe it's time to allow some new people to step in and really get the job done. Thank you.
Okay, Darnell. Does anyone need a refresher on the question? Pick someone who's not on your team, that you read something that they made a statement about that you totally agree. And I'm sorry I brought up the youth center because I wanted some specifics, some plan. Okay, Keith Logan, have you someone in mind? Some
Yes.
statement in mind?
So the homework that was given to us was given to us at 9:30 this morning.
Oh, no,
So-
that's not.
I just
Well,
want to
maybe
make
the
note of
second
that.
time it was at 9:30,
Oh,
but
that's when I seen it.
not the
So
first time.
that's what I'm saying. I'm a busy father. I'm really active, so just want to make note of that. So I get why that is a great question, because you have to be collaborative with 15 people or 14 other people to make things happen here. So I just want to let it be known that I work very well with people, and for the most part, the people that are here running believe in the same things and want Co-op City to thrive. So I have no disagreements with anyone with that on that point. But I didn't mean to put you out there, but that's when I got the email. So
That's
I
fine.
couldn't take time to read. I'm all over the place today. So yes, but that's just my thought. Whoever makes it, if I make it on, then I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and work with whoever. When it's time to get on, I'm going to vote my conscience, listen to my constituents, and do the best that I could do. And I would hope that anybody else that gets on would do the same thing. Thank you. Team Now.
Thank you, Keith. Michelle Marbury.
Thank you again, Mary, for that question. I'm going to focus on Mr. Nero Graham's article in the Co-op City Times, where he talked about enhancing the safety and security of CCPD and that department. I think it's important, and I'd like to see our CCPD be trained in who we are as a board. Many of them don't know us, and that's not a good thing. So they come, we hire them to do a job, but they don't know all of the infrastructure. They know how to operate and save us from, situations, but I think that there needs to be more cohesiveness between that department and the board and its members and management. I'd like to see that. I'd like to work on that with our new chief. And thank you again for having me. Since I have another 30 seconds, I'd like to thank Team Now, myself, Monique Coleman, Andrea Leslie, Darnell Lopez, and Keith Logan. Team Now. No opportunity wasted.
Okay. And remember, you don't have to use all 90 seconds if you don't want to. Okay, Monique Coleman.
Monique Coleman. So going back to
Oh,
the how's that? Okay, going back to the original question, as a reminder, we are a board of 15. We each get a single vote. We get to vote yes or no or abstain. We don't have to agree with everyone. It doesn't even matter if we agree with everyone or we echo anybody else's thoughts. Doesn't matter how loud other people might be or other board members might be about their opinions, because we have a very opinionated board. But the opinions, they're not, because they speak loudly doesn't mean that they're more important because they only have a single vote. So I would caution you to not just pay attention to the noisiest people or the people who agree with this or that, because we're all acting on your behalf, and we're making policies to make Co-op City a better place and to keep our hometown beautiful. And in my last 10 seconds, I will say that I work with Lynette on the audit committee, and I strongly agree with her, her statement about having timely responses from management to our audits.
Okay, thank you, Monique.
You're welcome.
Andrea Leslie.
Team Now.
I agree with Monique and Lynette, because we're a 15-member board and each one has one vote, you come together, at least I come together in a boardroom understanding that my final decision is basically keeping the shareholder uppermost in my mind and to how that decision that I make in the boardroom is going to affect the shareholders and affect me because I'm also a shareholder. And in that boardroom, we have to make some very difficult decisions at times, but it is simply because we want to keep Co-op City affordable. I agree with Idalia in reference to her not making sure that you have a title, but actually getting the work done. And that's what we are all about. I've been part of numerous committees. I've chaired the audit committee, a number of committees, wherever work is needed to be done. I've been present to do that, and that's what I'll continue to do.
Thank you, Andrea. Okay, then excuse me, and now we're done with question 3. Aaron is now going to be the first one to answer this question. The question is a geography question, talking about each other's sections. Now, this may be difficult because I didn't do my homework because I got the assignment too late. But can we just go across and who lives in section 1 of the candidates? No one lives in section 1. Okay. Who lives in section 2? We got Nero. Okay, great. So I'm going to put a little section 2 by Nero. Thank you. You're helping me do my homework. Who lives in section 3? Darnell lives in 3. Who lives in section 4? Okay, hold on a second. I'm a little slow here. So it's section 4. It is Keith and Lynette and Michelle and Andrea. I have driven some of these people home, and I don't even know the answer to this. Lynette, Michelle, and Andrea. Okay, good. So, who lives in section 5? I know them because I see them in the grocery store. Okay. I want you to pick someone who does not live in your section, and I want you to tell the entire community what's your favorite part about that other person's section. Oh, let's see who never leaves home, shall we? Okay, and Aaron, you ready to start?
Sure, why not?
You want to think about it? Okay.
Oh. So I actually, in section 4, depending what building you are, but I think section 4 probably has one.
Could you speak in the mic?
Section 4 has one of the best views, depending on what building you're in. So, for instance, if you're in building 20 and you're high enough, you can see all of Manhattan, all of the city, and I think that's probably my favorite view outside of section 5. Sorry.
Good start. Thank you, Aaron. Lynette Wright.
So I'm going to represent my hometown of Section 5, Building 34. So I personally, even though love my Section 4, love all of the sections, Section 5 is a little bit different. The culture is different because it is completely separate that's out there. And also the spacing is wider between the buildings, so you do have more space. And I would challenge you on the views because Section 5 has absolutely gorgeous views going out to Connecticut and Manhattan, Connecticut and New Rochelle, and you can see different fireworks throughout there. So, but it's an absolutely amazing section. It's a lovely section. It has its own, like I said, culture because it kind of has to in that sense. Absolutely amazing people that are here, 2 amazing people that are here as well. So, and 2 beautiful people that are over there as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero Graham.
Nero Graham. Well, section 2, good view.
Hey, you live there. Don't try to fool us.
Well, there's so many people who come that way.
Somewhere else.
And they walk around, and they just say how beautiful the place is kept. The greenery, the yards, and the dogs, people's cleaning up, and they are really concerned over there. They watch out for things. They are very nosy, the stockholders, but it's good to be nosy because that meant that we are paying attention where we live. Thank you.
Okay, Nero, you get half a point taken off. Darnell Lopez.
Thank you, Darnell here. Team now. So, to be honest, I've been here pretty much my whole life. What I really enjoy is, it's hard to say. It's more like Section 4 and some of Section 2, because I've seen what their basketball courts look like before they were remodeled. And it's just amazing to see how things can become much beautiful from where they were, and the lifelong friends I've obtained since I've been here. So I would definitely go with the Section 4 basketball courts, as well as the Section 2 basketball courts, and the people of the community. Thank you. Team now.
Okay, so you go wherever the game goes. Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you, Darnell. Keith?
So the
Keith Logan.
Yes, thank you. The section I admire more than my own, or I like all the sections, but one in particular would be Section 5. When I started here in 07, I started in Section 5. And also when I started a second business, I started it in Section 5, a juice bar that's now closed, but it was in Section 5. And why I love Section 5 so much is because it has a strong sense of community. It gets a bad rap. When you talk to people outside of co-op, they always talk about Section 5, and when you move in, don't move in Section 5. But Section 5, in my opinion, is more close-knit because it's away from everything else, and then with that bad rap, they kind of stick together. I feel like there's more cooperative engagement within Section 5. Thank you. Team now.
Thank you, Keith. Michelle Marbury.
Hi. I am from the Quad, Section 4. But I'm going to talk about Section 5 because my former bandmate lived there. His family has since moved on, and his parents have gone on. But many people will probably remember Mr. Valentine, who lived in Section 5 and loved me to sing the song by Barbra Streisand, The Way He Makes Me Feel. And one night, Brett had a studio set up in his bedroom in Section 5, and they lived on the 33rd floor. And it was nighttime. We opened all the blinds all the way up, and you could see the bridge leading to Section 5 and to Section 5 to City Island, and just that landscape, and it was awe-inspiring, and it just created this beautiful setting for us that night. I'll never forget that, and. Anyway, and that's what co-op does for us. I can remember laying in my bed and watching the fireworks on July 4th. I mean, who can do that? That's the beauty of co-op and Section 5 and Section 4. Team now, right now.
Thank you, Michelle. Monique Coleman.
Monique Coleman. I'm also going to say Section 5.
Wow.
I'm in Section 2. I live in Section 2. I don't think I shared that. But I choose Section 5 because our community was built on the water, but the only area in our community that has waterfront access is Section 5. So, and I'm an outdoors person. I like to be outside. So I really appreciate that they have waterfront access. They also have a beautiful new bicycle path. Which I love too. I'm a bike rider, and I like to ride my bike throughout the community. But I also love that brand new safe path that takes us through the back way to get to Orchard Beach and Pelham Bay Park and City Island without having to ride through the street. So there's a beautiful new bicycle path there. And I love the connection to, City Island and Orchard Beach. I was at Orchard Beach yesterday, and it was 80 degrees, or at least they said it was going to be. It wasn't actually 80 degrees. It was kind of chilly. But, I like to be outside, and as soon as they say the weather is good, I want to be out in it. So Section 5 is my favorite because I feel like I can get outside a lot there.
Thank you,
Team
Monique.
now!
Okay. Calm down now with that. Okay. Andrea Leslie.
I don't want to seem like a broken record, but Section 5, because, especially now, because thanks to you, Mary, we have a park, a mini park right on the water. And because I sometimes leave the community, I go to Orchard Beach, and I like to be barefooted on the grass and the sand. And Section 5 has a little park. That's what we settled with. And I can sit there in a chair, take my shoes off, and watch the water. It's not scenic as some other areas, but because it's quiet, I can take, everything else disappears, take my shoes off, and feel the ground and watch the water. That's why I like that area there in Section 5.
Thank you, Andrea. Idalia.
Okay.
You can't say Section 5.
I can. I'm going to say all the sections are beautiful.
So diplomatic.
When I come off the highway, I have to say, when I look at all our buildings and over the Hutchinson River, I always say it's really, really pretty.
Please repeat yourself.
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
All right.
a little louder.
I said all the sections are beautiful.
That we heard.
Okay, so when I pass on the highway and I'm coming back to my community, I feel very proud of all the landscaping we have. It just looks beautiful. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say Section 4, because I have attended a basketball Halloween with the CCPS, and it was nice with the costumes. All the kids were there playing, and it was a very nice basketball court, and it was pretty big. So I really like the basketball court there, and I think that was a good community event that I attended. Thank you.
Thank you, Idalia. Aaron, same directive. You can't mention Section 5. Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I'll tell you, my cockamamie system here. Okay, we're going on to number 5, and I want the candidates to name their favorite spot, thing, or place in their own section. Okay, we're going to start with Lynette. Thank you, Lynette.
That's easy. That's my apartment. It's nowhere I'd rather be.
I'm sorry?
My apartment.
Oh, your apartment's your favorite
My
place?
apartment has everything I would need. My apartment has my bed. My neighbors are very respectful. What else? I have a view that I enjoy. I have a terrace. I'm able to get to other sections, such as Section 5, fairly easily. We're an extremely walkable community. Our grounds department, I think, does a really great job, actually, of making the grounds look very beautiful. Particularly in my area, we have flowers that are there, but yeah, it's definitely my apartment. And guess what? I can call if I ever have a problem. I know we do have some problems with getting work orders done. We recognize that. That is a community-wide issue that we're hoping to improve, but things do take time. But ultimately, my apartment is exactly where I want to be. I'm an introvert, but I am somebody who does actually like doing work once I go outside of my apartment.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero?
Well, I can say also, I'm not going to say my apartment, but my apartment, yes. But it's good that where I'm at is that you can look out the view out your window and you can see as you come across, I think, Pear Tree and Co-op City Boulevard, how the nice, viewing to let people know when they're coming into Co-op City that way. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful scene, believe me. And the garden people, they just keep that up. And time of changing now, and flowers are blooming, and trees is blooming, and it just looks so beautiful. So it's a sight. And it's a good place to tour. So you may be over there in Section 5. Come on over and take a view. Thank you.
Okay. And Darnell, please. Darnell Lopez.
Yes, Team Now here. Darnell speaking. So, my favorite spot is the Bartow Community Center, because in one centralized location, you can do almost all your shopping you need for your home. You can go to the library and educate yourself, or read a nice novel if you like. You can definitely go downstairs and, if you want to argue with the people about your carrying charges, that's available too. CCPD is there, so if you want to talk to them, give them how you feel, that's there. It's just an amazing location where you can pretty much, especially like for the seniors who may not be able to be as mobile, you can go to one place and pretty much take care of almost all your needs. So I really enjoy that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Team now.
Darnell. Keith Logan.
One of my favorite places would be the Greenway. A few days ago, I was playing catch with my oldest son and my daughter, just having fun and just enjoying the greenery and just anticipating the growth of the trees and flowers and everything else that's there. So I would say the Greenway. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you, Keith. Michelle. Marbury.
Yes, my
Yes.
favorite place in Section 4. Boy, Section 4 is so beautiful growing up there. But my favorite spot used to be when I would get off the Manhattan Express bus and go to the water where back in the day, as it were, the Jewish people used to have it. It was made so that they could go to the water and atone. On the high holy days, and it was created in a circle. The blacktop was made in a circle with grass around it, and you could go all the way, as close to the river as you could get. And that's just what I would do. And I used to marvel at when I would get off the Manhattan Express and walk to the water and just let everything go. The problems of the day or whatever, and atone for my own sins or whatever. And I could smell the difference from Manhattan to here. It was in the loam of the soil, and the smell of the grass over there. It was just beautiful and breathtaking, and just let everything, cast it out onto the water. And so that's one of my favorite spots in Co-op.
Thank you, Michelle. Monique.
So I'm going to echo one of my teammates, Keith Logan, mentioned the Greenway. We have 320 acres of property and mostly open space, but our Greenway is really unique and special. And it's a place where I've enjoyed fireworks and Tunes on Tuesday and, our annual, our annual fair. We had our No Kings Day there last year. But it's just a place that our community gathers. So I really enjoy the Greenway. Again, I like outdoors, and so it's a space like none other.
Thank you, Monique. Andrea Leslie.
Well, I have to say a similar thing, the Greenway, because we're able to watch movies on the Greenway, and we have a stage that we fought to get that we can have concerts and different things on the Greenway. Yeah, we do have National Night Out there also. We have a stage, not like Section 5 that has to do something portable, but we have a permanent stage that we can have whatever event we want on that Greenway. And especially because I have encouraged us to have more movies on the Greenway so we can, be under the stars and enjoy ourselves and enjoy the property that we have on the Greenway.
Thank you,
Vote for
Andrea.
Team Now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Idalia.
What I like best about my section, which is Section 5, is Building 26 has started the Light It Up, the tree lighting. Every year it's going to be on year number 3 now, and we never had a tree lighting in our area. I feel that the building presidents have been united, including myself, Aaron, And it's been really, really a good community gathering. People come together. We're starting to know more neighbors. And I think Section 5 is becoming very popular. And we are really united. So that's why I like my Section 5.
Thank you, Idalia. Aaron Carnegie.
Thank you. I'm going to pick the Section 5 Greenway, but I have to go back in time a little bit because growing up here, the Greenway to me in Section 5 was the townhouses, the grass outside the townhouses going all the way to Building 29. Because if you came to the Section 5 fair back then, when you had the vendors and the shareholders who were selling foods and whatnot, it went all the way to Building 29. So growing up there, that was it was just so beautiful. And now, I know some people call the Greenway just right in front of the townhouses, but during the summer, when we got a little bit of rain, the grass is green, and everything, you do see people sitting out there enjoying just the environment, enjoying co-op, as if you were down in Central Park. That's how beautiful that Greenway is, especially when that grass is lush and just beautiful. So I'm picking the Greenway. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, we're going to switch gears a tiny bit. This is something I had asked all the candidates to tell me what committee they were on or how you show your commitment to the community. But we're going to have to limit the time so we can get to the cake by 9. So we're going to start with Nero Graham. What committees have you served on, or how have you shown your commitment to the community?
Well, I serve on no committees in co-op, but in the communities, I serve on many committees bringing the youth together, organizing, housing, Mount Hope Housing Company, if you ever heard that before. Also, the tennis associations committees, I have worked on many outside, and it's available for those that need me, reach out. And I also help a couple of churches out, those who have tenants in their buildings, to help continue to organize and to assist those tenants with their committees in that they have rights also, as the landlords have shown.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, it was going to be short, so thank you. Thank you, Nero.
I was hoping much time.
No, yes, it's perfectly fine. And I don't want a laundry list, pick the one that had the most impact. If you've been on a committee, excuse me for adding something here. And if you have not served on a committee, or how have you shown your commitment to the community? And if you haven't, if you haven't any of the credentials or any of the receipts for that, tell me about how often you attend your building association. How's that? Thank you very much. We're up to Darnell.
Team now
Take it
here.
away.
Darnell Lopez speaking. I am one of the chairpersons of the annual Father's Day game in the Section 3 courts. That has been going on for well over 30 years. And I'm definitely instrumental in making sure that happens every single year in our community. If anybody's ever been by our section on Father's Day, you will see that there's a game there every single year. Outside of that, I'm not a part of any committees at the moment, but I am recently a part of the Coalition to Save Affordable Housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Keith Logan.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, yeah. What committees have you served on, or how have you shown your commitment to the community? And we're expanding that to, do you go to your building association meetings?
Okay, I currently serve on the construction committee, and as far as how I serve my community, started a juice bar in 2021 with efforts of bringing healthier options to Co-op City shareholders, which is currently not in business, but that was an effort to serve my community and do business.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Michelle, you have to pick one, though.
Well, I've served on several committees, as most of you probably know, from IT to the Youth Committee, Buildings and Ground, History, Construction. I'm Vice President of the Building 21 Association. I started the Section 4 Partnership and currently co-chairing the Disabilities Committee. Which one is my favorite? It's hard to choose. All I know is when I'm called to serve, I serve. And where I'm needed, I'm there. It's called engagement, it's called showing up, and that's what I'm here to do. With Team Now, no opportunities wasted. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Monique Coleman.
Monique Coleman, just testing. I founded and chair the Insurance Committee. I'm also, and I've been doing it since I joined the board in 2021. I've been a member of the Audit Committee since I joined the board in 2021. And last year, I did what you're doing now, Mary. I co-chaired the Election Committee and organized last year's election, which took us until October 15th to get board directors sworn in. So I implore you all to vote early and talk to your neighbors about voting so that we can execute Operation Quick Quorum and get a quorum right away. So please vote. Please choose 5, any 5.
Thank you, Monique. Andrea Leslie.
I am Andrea Leslie, and I've been chair and co-chair for a number of committees, including being the chairperson for election committee at one point in time also. And I've been on the construction committee, the audit committee. I've chaired the audit committee, construction, legislative. I've done work on the board in terms of committee work, parking facilities. My favorite, though, I've been on the Disability Accommodation Committee because at one point in time I was disabled and it came to me that there was a need, no one was chairing it, and I chaired it, and I brought to this actual room the first Disabilities Expo for Co-op City.
Thank you, Andrea. Idalia Reyes.
Okay, I serve as building president. I have a meeting every month. I serve as the VP of the Spanish American, that's every month. And the Croto Committee, I chair that. And we have the events like the Christmas party that we had just in December, that was a hit. And I bring coaches together. So that is my aim and that is my goal, to keep our community together. Thank you.
Thank you, Idalia. Aaron.
Unfortunately, I ran out of ink writing down all the committees that I'm part of.
Your favorite.
My favorite? Oh, boy. I don't know. Well, I'm building association president, so I get to interact with my building, almost every day. I will say, and this is, if you want to say how I serve the community, I actually was recently added to the ledge team for Councilman Kevin Riley, so I am now helping to write legislation to help this community. I know I have a few things coming down the pipe, so I will end with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Lynette.
All right, so I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. So right now, currently this year, I do chair the Audit Committee, which identifies issues within different departments and tries to fix them based on things like risk to the corporation, which can be financial or otherwise. I also chair the Smart City Committee. We do currently have money that's going into the budget, and the committee has expressed the need, A, for an app for increased communication, so I think that's going into the budget, and B, improvements in the website, which currently that's being formulated because we know the website isn't as functional for shareholders as it needs to be, which includes having a portal. I also am on top of the Decarbonization Works Group, which works with the solar panels. So like I said, we put $2.5 million towards the pilot of that.
Darnell, we want to know your style. What is your focus, your mindset, your viewpoint? When you're on the board, Will you be looking at things from a customer's viewpoint or from customer service? Would you be more interested in aesthetics or just pure governance? This is a real quickie question. Do it in 30 seconds or less. Do you have that?
Tell me when to
30
go.
seconds?
You ready for me?
Yes, I'm ready for
All
you.
right.
That's it.
No, it would
Governance,
definitely- it would-
customer service,
I'm
or
ready.
aesthetics.
Should Keith start? Should Keith start?
Huh?
Excuse me?
Didn't Darnell start before?
No,
No,
Nero started.
Nero started.
Nero started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it would definitely be from a customer service perspective. I'm very open-minded. I like to hear ideas. I don't necessarily need to be the one that's correct, but we all work into one common goal for our shareholders. And if anything we can do to make it easier for them and better, I'm all for it. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. You will notice we are in the lightning round here. Keith Logan?
So my approach would be multifaceted from a shareholder and somebody who's worked here point of view. So the best mix and blend between the two, because I feel like we can get more out of the people who work here if we appreciated them differently and kind of encouraged them. So that would be my style. Thank you.
Thank
Team
you,
now.
Keith. Thank you, Keith. Michelle Marbury.
Hi, I always think of the shareholders when I'm in the boardroom. Because before I'm a board director or holder of any title, I'm a shareholder. I'm a cooperator. And so I come with that perspective with them in mind. You know, like when we were doing the budget. Darn it. Okay. I had a good one for you.
That was very
Team
quick,
now.
right? Monique.
Ooh, Monique. Okay, so mostly we're policymakers, and of course we are always putting the shareholder first, and so long term I care about affordability and accountability, but always with the shareholder in mind and preserving our community.
Thank you, Monique. Andrea.
Andrea Leslie here. First, always the shareholder is upmost in my mind, and we're in the boardroom working as a team. I'm always a team member, understanding that all our collective decisions will affect how it will affect the shareholders in terms of customer service, of our affordability, improving our infrastructure. We're always having that in mind when I'm working with the team.
Thank you, Andrea. Idalia.
What better than a shareholder's point of view, right? This is why I'm stepping in, because I will be speaking on behalf, I'll be representing the community, so I will do the point of view of a shareholder.
Thank you, Idalia. Aaron.
I'll just quickly answer the question. It's customer service approach, because it's how management treats you, how the shareholders, how the board treats the shareholders, and how the vendors treat the shareholders. We should not be disrespected by anyone who comes into our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Lynette.
So I think that the outcome that we always want, obviously, is that the shareholders are satisfied, that we are maintaining our affordability. My perspective that I always come from is that my opinion personally does not matter. What matters is the facts and what is the outcome and how is this going to lead whatever decision that we make to ultimately being a better community. So I'm just a very more facts-oriented person. There are feelings that are in there, but those feelings are making sure that everybody is taken care of.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero.
Customer service, but number one happened to be the shareholders. And I see it as working directly for the shareholders and let them know that they are my boss. They elected me. They put me here. And I will continue to do the customer services part and work with the employees also, because everybody needs that love, tender love and care, and to pull them along the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Keith Logan is going, Keith Logan is going to address this first. Last week, at the last forum, we talked about viewpoints. Everyone at this dais pledged that they would write a viewpoint at least 4 times a year, within every 3 months. The viewpoint question today is, what do you think about having the viewpoints fact-checked before, after, by whom, go? Keith.
I wouldn't mind anything that I wrote being fact-checked because I'm a truth teller and I operate with honesty and integrity. So if that was the consensus, I wouldn't have any problem with it.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Keith. Michelle.
We all have to abide by rules and regulations, resolutions, and so I wouldn't have a problem being fact-checked. Integrity is what I pride myself on when I'm writing for the community or anyone for that matter. So thank you so much.
Okay,
Team
thank
Power.
you, Michelle. Monique.
I absolutely support viewpoints being fact-checked, and I would never mind, if mine were fact-checked and edited, and if my grammar were checked, my capitalization, my periods in the right place. I'm all for it. It's all good, and I encourage it for the entire board.
Thank you, Monique. Andrea.
I agree that we should be fact-checked because the information that we give, it is our opinion, but we want to be making sure that the information we share with the community is actual facts and not misleading, so that there's no misunderstanding as to what we're communicating with the community.
Thank you, Andrea. Idalia.
I wouldn't mind being fact-checked because I believe that whatever I'm saying, I want it to be checked and make sure it's the right thing in communication that's going out to the community.
Thank you. Aaron.
I have no problem being fact-checked. We live in a world now that words matter, facts matter. We see what happens in Washington when nothing is being checked, so I have no problem with that.
Thank you. Lynette.
I don't know anybody who's going to say that they don't want to be fact-checked. So I will say this, at least when I do write, for those who do read, you notice or should notice that I give you citations. And as I said, my opinion does not matter. It matters what the facts are at the end of the day and how we as a board react to them. So fact-checking is not a big thing. It might be a task, and that's up to Jeff Buss and Roseanne Boone with that, but there's no issue with being fact-checked.
Thank you, Lynette. Nero.
The viewpoints fact-checked,
Yeah.
I agree. I think any and all documents that's going out, especially from a body like the Board of Directors. Thank you.
Thank you. Darnell.
I would invite anyone to fact check me. I stand on integrity, and my main goal is to serve the shareholders and to prove to them that I'm trustworthy.
Thank you. And now this is just a yes or no question. The question is, have you ever been to Rivers Run Garden? What do you think of it? Would you like it to be expanded? We heard some praise for the Section 5 park, no love for river runs. So what do you say? Michelle, we're just going to go right.
Sure, I've been to
Have you
Rivers.
been there? Okay.
Yes, I've been to Rivers Run. I think it's great, and I think it should be expanded.
Next, Monique.
Yes, I've been there. Yes, I think it's beautiful. Yes, I think it should be expanded.
Next, Andrea.
Yes, I've been.
Next, Dahlia.
Yes, I think Leslie Peterson is doing a beautiful job with it.
Next, Aaron.
Yes to all. Yes.
Okay, Lynette.
Yes, and it should be decided by Rivers Run leadership if they want to expand, and they can handle that.
Okay. Yes,
Yes,
Nero.
yes, yes, yes.
And yes,
For
and
River
Darnell.
Run. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, you got your shovel ready and your little trowel?
Let's do it.
Keith?
So with being honest and truthful, no and yes. Because I haven't personally, I drive past it, but I haven't been there, honestly. So I'm not going to say yes because I haven't been there. But I see it.
Well, you're
but
going,
the
though.
answer is yes.
Okay,
The second question is yes.
okay. Thank you, everybody. It's getting close to cake time. We are going to have the closing statements. I will not need to be reminded by Aaron for this, but I do want to just do a little plug. You were given the gold ones. On the way out, you will trade your gold one in for a green one. Why? Shh. You're going to give these in. Everybody's going to give them in. You get a green one. You can have as many of the greens that you want, as long as you know people who are willing to shake them to say an election is coming. The ballots are coming. The ballots are going to be in a green envelope. The green ballots are coming, they're coming, and they're here. And when they're here, I want everyone to go, don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without your green pom-pom. And I implore everyone to linger in the lobby. That is the other initiative. Hello, everybody, excuse me, pardon my front. I want you to linger in your lobby. You're going down to get your mail, you bring your pom-pom. You tell people, you point at a sign that says the election is coming, and you tell them, the election's coming, the ballots are here, vote. Don't put it in the junk drawer. Make sure you take it. It's green, and there is an actual name for this. It's called sensory priming. This is green, the ballot envelope will be green. Remember, when you see that green envelope, what do? You vote. And there are two ways to do it. You can throw it in the mail, but that costs us 81 cents every time you do it. If you want, you put it in a locked box. There will be one in each of the centers. So those are the two choices. There'll be much more written about it before that happens. Now, we're back to, hello, that's the end of the plug. Now we're back to the closing statements, and we're going to start backwards. Keith, would you mind starting, or whoever, yeah?
Can you add 30 more
Okay.
seconds to the clock?
Excuse
It's
me?
at 30 seconds.
Oh,
Can
no,
you
it's
give
not
1
30
minute?
seconds, it's 1 minute.
No, that's what I'm saying. Can you add 30
Thank
more
you.
seconds? No problem.
Thank you.
Just
Could we
making
get
sure.
Louis here?
Don't want to get cut
Okay.
off.
We got the chicken. And go.
Keith Logan again. As a professional tradesman and entrepreneur, I've gained valuable expertise that I'm eager to share with this board. When given the opportunity, I'll be honored to contribute my skills and experience to help shape the future of our community. I believe my unique blends of hands-on experience and business acumen would make me a valuable asset to this board. I'm excited about the prospect of working together to build a brighter future for our community. Let's work together to create a sustainable, thriving neighborhood for all. Please vote for Team Now, Andrea Leslie, Michelle Marbury, Monique Coleman, Darnell Lopez, and me, Keith Logan. Vote Team Now. The time is now. No opportunities wasted.
Thank you,
you.
Keith. Darnell?
Yes. Darnell Lopez here. My roots in Co-op City combined with my professional expertise uniquely position me to understand the needs of our community and to help address them effectively. My campaign is grounded in transparency, active community engagement, and the empowerment of residents through access to education and opportunity. As the election approaches, I encourage all residents to participate in the voting process and to share their perspectives on the future of our community. I firmly believe that collaboration between the board and shareholders is essential to building a stronger, more inclusive co-op city. Vote Team Now. Michelle Marbury, Monique Coleman, Andrea Leslie, Keith Logan, and myself, Darnell Lopez. Team Now.
Thank
The
you.
time is now. No opportunity wasted. Thank you.
Thank you, Darnell. Nero?
If I'm elected to the board of directors, I bring my experience, I bring my skills, I'm community oriented, I'm also managerial oriented. I work with others as a team. I'm a team player, and I do believe shareholders comes first, and I believe the shareholders need to have the trust and confidence in each one of the board members that serve on Riverbay Board of Directors. And in order to do that, I just ask respectfully to vote for Nero Graham. Vote for me. Let's break the chain Let's make changes. And the only way we can do that, break the link and let's move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Nero. Lynette.
So I had originally written out a whole thing, but just based on what we currently just have experienced, I just want to go back to what the purpose of having and being a board director is. You are responsible for the business of being here. Riverbay Corporation is a business. It is a multi-million-dollar business. That is a very high responsibility. And your responsibility as a board director is tremendous. Your decisions can lead to whether somebody is able to be here or not, or if this corporation can even exist. I would ask you to look at us and say, and as we go through this campaign season, what is the work you have done? What is the history that you have? And what skills are you bringing to this boardroom to keep everybody safe? It is a pleasure to know everybody that is here, but at the end of the day, remember what this job entails, and that we have a fiduciary responsibility to every single person here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynette. Aaron.
Good evening. Co-op City is not just a collection of buildings. It is a living, breathing community shaped by the families who live here and by the residents who continue to fight for it every day. We're facing real challenges: affordability, safety, accountability. These are everyday realities, and they require leadership that is present, responsive, and rooted in this community. Tonight, I ask you one simple question: who has already been doing the work? I have not been waiting for a title to serve. I have been present, listening, and delivering for our residents. Because leadership is not about words, it's about action. I am not asking for this opportunity based on promises. I'm asking based on the work I have already done. I humbly ask for you to vote Aaron Carnegie for the Riverbay Board. Together, we can strengthen Riverbay without losing sight of what makes our community special. Move forward with a purpose, and let's move forward together. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Idalia.
I really want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to leave you with one simple thought. Leadership are not about titles. It's about leadership and coming together respectfully for one purpose, for the shareholders. We need results. We don't need more excuses. We need accountability. And we don't need distant leadership. We need togetherness and unity. I am that leader. I bring experience, dedication, and proven commitment to the community. I bring a voice that would not be silent and a work that would not be stopped. But most important, I bring the belief that together we could do better, and I'm ready to lead the change with you. The choice in the election is clear. It's about who will stand for you and who will work for you and who will deliver for you. I ask for your trust, your support, and your vote. Please vote for Idalia Reyes and also re-elect Lynette Wright and Rod Saunders. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Idalia. Andrea Leslie.
Hi, I'm Andrea Leslie. Thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you for watching. I ask for your vote in the upcoming Board of Director elections because I wish to continue the progress we've made in modernizing our community. We want to improve our customer service, our quality of life, and to make space for our youth. We've been here for many years, and we plan to live here for a long time coming. I also want to encourage our community engagement. That is how we stay sustainable and affordable. If we have shareholders participating in the community that we live. I ask for your vote for myself, Andrea Leslie, for the NOW team, Monique Coleman, Michelle Marbury, Keith Logan, and Darnell Lopez. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Monique.
My name is Monique Coleman. I'm part of Team Now, and we are ready and willing to continue to work. NOW stands for No Opportunity Wasted. We are 5 candidates running to be one of 15 board members aiming to serve over 15,000 shareholders with over 50,000 residents. Team Now is committed to protecting our future while honoring our standards by our founding residents. We're focused on finding funding for a much-needed youth center beyond Section 5 keeping Co-op City affordable, and working with our elected officials to reduce our operating costs. Encouraging stronger shareholder engagement, that means everybody should vote, and preserving our quality of life. Your vote matters, not the vote of one, but the voice of many.
Did you not? Yeah, I did. Go.
Shareholders, when you leave tonight, I'd like you to remember this. You don't have to wonder who I am, because you know me. You've seen my work, my commitment. You've seen me show up. A child who came to Co-op with a dream, to lead to the leader you see seated before you tonight. Trusted, tested, and still pushing forward. My focus has never changed. To protect what we have, to build what we deserve. This isn't about division. It's about direction. It's about making sure no voice is wasted, no effort is ignored, and no opportunity is missed. That's what Team Now represents. No opportunity wasted. I'm Michelle Marbury with you, Monique Coleman and Andrea Leslie, proven experience and integrity. Keith Logan and Darnell Lopez, dynamic voices ready to elevate. When it's time to decide, step forward with purpose. Vote Team Now, because our time is now.
Thank you, Michelle. And thank you, everybody, for coming. And now is the time you can put down your pom-poms and clap for our beautiful candidates. Thank them for stepping up. Thank them for their wonderful job.